This season hasn't always been fun for all of the Irish provinces, but when they have got it right, we've seen some strong attacking play from all four sides in the Guinness Pro12. We've studied Connacht's remarkable season in depth elsewhere, so here we're going to look at some of the latest examples of attacking quality from the other three provinces. Leinster scored an excellent set-piece try in second phase from a line-out platform in their win over Treviso last weekend, with Johnny Sexton the man to dot down. We joined the play at the first ruck following a four-man line-out as Heaslip carries in midfield. Mike Ross and Geordie Murphy, just here and here, are designated as the primary cleaners, and they're going to be joined late by Mick Carney just here after his initial line-out involvement. On the left-hand side of the ruck is the entire Leinster backline. Of particular interest to us is the decoy work of Ben Teo and Gary Ringrose, two of them just marked here. The Leinster senders are actually going to create the space for Easton Athewa and Sexton to run into as they take Owen Redden's screen pass in behind the two Leinster centres on these two lines. Providing width on the left edge for Leinster is Dave Carney, and fullback Rob Carney is doing the same out towards that 15-metre channel here and here. Those two are going to flood through to support the line break and tee up the try. Now, as we roll the play on, Teo and Ringrose are the men to watch closely. They're looking to straighten the game up for Leinster and remove Alessandro Zani and Marco Fusser as viable defensive options against Sexton and Athewa. As Teo approaches the line, we're going to see him get in front of Zani ahead of the ball, just to the left of the ruck, and he's just marked here. Now, outside Teo, Ringrose does some really intelligent work too. He's off the ball and he's making that hole for Leinster. We see that he actually slows his run down and becomes stationary here in front of Fusser, opening the hole as Sexton attracts Alberto Scarbi. So in behind Ringrose, and Athewa is going to dart through off Sexton's pass. It's worth also taking a look at Sexton's actions immediately after he passes the ball. We just run play back to see that in action. He actually runs upfield even before Athewa has actually caught the pill. So he's preempting that break and he knows it's coming. It's just really typical play from Sexton. Joe Schmidt has always been about that second touch, and Leo Cullen and Gervin Dempsey have both come through the same school of thought. Athewa makes the bust, and he could perhaps actually arc back towards the post slightly to fix Natogli a little bit more here, but he hits Sexton as the out-half calls for the ball. Sexton shifts the ball onto the supporting Rob Carney on his left, and again, we must note his work off the ball after passing. Again, he continues upfield and he acts as a bit of a shelter for the Carney brothers. Sexton's line means Natoglia doesn't have direct access to the Carneys, and therefore he's in a poorer position from which to make the tackle. As we see, as the play rolls on again, after Rob Carney hits Dave Carney inside, that actually contributes to Carney being able to get his left hand through the tackle and find Sexton once again. Sexton, with his fourth touch, crosses for a gorgeous try. Really, this try is an excellent example of a team knowing their roles on set-piece attack as they target a weakness they've analysed in the opposition. Sexton's support play and off-the-ball running are superb as he gets those four touches across the passage. Teo and Ringrose carry out important decoy work, and the Carneys show work rate and skill outside. In contrast to that structured situation, we're going to take a look at a Munster try in a totally unstructured situation in their 31-15 Pro12 win over the Scarlets. Munster have soaked up 20 phases of pressure from the Scarlets here, with the Welsh side moving 40 or so metres up the pitch, but Jack O'Donoghue is the man to earn them a turnover. This is one of several aggressive hits from the Waterford man this game after he came off the bench, and he knocks the ball loose from John Barclay's grasp in this instance. Munster fall on the ball as it bobbles loose to take possession, and it'll be understandable for them to want to get the ball immediately off the pitch here with a kick. The total ball and play time here is already in excess of 3 minutes, so there's certainly fatigue. We can see that some of the Munster players are indeed indicating that they want that kick, but as always, Francis Saidi has different ideas. As he gets the ball, it's a 3-on-2 scenario for Munster with Saili, Johnny Holland and Keith Earls off screen widened left for Munster. Defensively matching up, or rather not matching up to that, the Scarlets have James Davies and Steph Evans as their two frontline defenders. Outside Saidi, Holland does some excellent work for Munster here in running a straightening line back to Evans' inside shoulder there, forcing him to sit down, and after the play rolls on, you're actually going to see that he takes Davies and Evans completely out of the game. There's temptation for Saidi to throw this long, hard, flat pass wide to Keith Earls in space, but instead the Kiwi identifies the pocket of space in behind the Scarlets and he selects the grubber kick. He's targeting this space just in behind the Scarlets here. As you can see, open field. This is actually one of a handful of nice short kicks from Saidi in this game, and it sits up invitingly for Keith Earls. He slaloms beautifully inside Hadley Parks and then hitches out of Shingler's despairing diving tackle attempt. What's really impressive is that Earls actually cleverly straightens play up for Munster to draw in that final defender Liam Williams and feed Saili. He doesn't get selfish and head for that open field off to his right. Instead he straightens up and he feeds Siley with the pass. The outside centre gets his just reward for working hard to follow up, while Earl selflessly takes the big hit from Williams to ensure the try is scored. Excellent basics from Munster. Turning to Ulster's big win away to the Ospreys, we see a try scored on account of Chris Henry's good knowledge of the laws of the game. We're at a ruck around a metre out from the Ospreys' try line, and it certainly doesn't look like an attacking opportunity for Ulster. As we pause play here, the ball is still clearly in the Ospreys' ruck. It is close to the try line, but it's still in the field of play, so that means the ruck still creates the offside line and Henry can't attack the ball. However, when Rhys Webb rolls the ball back with his foot to this position, the ball is actually on the try line, and therefore it's in the in-goal area, meaning that the ruck in front of the ball is essentially rendered meaningless in terms of creating an offside line. It's open play and Henry cleverly attacks the ball. There is some doubt over the actual grounding of the ball here, meaning a TMO referral, but on the slow motion replay, we're going to see that Henry does ground the ball firmly before there's any chance of a knock on. He does tip the ball forward, but grounds it firmly before the ball lands. We can see it just here. It's really intelligent and agile stuff from Henry, particularly with the left side of his body trapped. Finally, it's worth taking a quick look back at Andrew Trimble's fantastic solo effort for Ulster in the same game. Trimble benefits from a Webb error for this score, with the Ospreys scrum half appearing to attempt to drop a short kick into this space for Eli Walker to run to, but instead overcooking his kick. Trimble now has time to choose what he's going to do as he comes back at the Ospreys, and he opts to kick long for the space behind the retreating Webb. Ulster get the lucky bounce of the never predictable oval ball, and it sits up perfectly for Trimble. The Ireland wing reacts wonderfully well to step past the covering Dan Evans with some excellent footwork, as we see here, and the 31-year-old then shows that he's still got plenty of pace to finish a superb individual try that punishes the Ospreys' error. The watching Joe Schmidt will surely have been impressed. So, after another exciting weekend, Ulster, Connacht and Leinster all advance into the Pro12 semi-finals, although Munster's disappointing season is over. Nonetheless, exciting times lie ahead for the provinces, who provided a few glimpses of their attacking potential in last weekend's action.